I mean, I think it's still.
Some more meat on that or no?
Yes, it's still there.
So more. All right.
It's Luke chapter 9, verse 61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house.
Hello.
And Yahawashi said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of Yahawah.
There you go. No man, having set his hand upon the plow and turning back, is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. All right. No man.
I wouldn't let nobody scratch my back like that. Feels a lot of
weird fucking place we live in. Read that again.
So Luke 9 and 61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house.
Yep.
It said, and Yahawashi said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of Yahawah.
Con, because at the end of the day, when you come to serve the Most High, you're fighting a war, believe it or not. And the scriptures say, them that war entangleth not themselves in the affairs of this life. See what I'm saying? And so,
Y'all sure me on the right spot.
that was something, boy. He would have been looking back. But yeah, like when you come to serve the Most High, you're at war, man. You're at war with the powers that be in this kingdom, man. Okay? So, like the scripture said, any man putting his hand to the plow and looking back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven, man. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up. You're basically setting yourself up for the Most High to destroy you. All right? Think back to the parable of the sower, where the Lord talked about the seeds that were thrown upon the thorns. All right, and the thorns sprung up and choked the seeds. See what I'm saying? They liken those thorns as the cares of this world. The cares of this world choke the truth out of this guy. That's what happened. All right. So when he said, when that man said, I bid you, let me bid them farewell, what was the reply that Yahawashi gave? If you can find it.
Luke 9 and 61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home in my house.
What did Yahawashi reply and say?
And Yahawashi said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of Yahawah.
That's right. Because once you come to serve the Lord, you're at war.
I can't believe you're gonna move.
All right.
So,
I forget the name of that movie. What was it called again? The one that you reported to me, where the guy was like,
Oh yeah. Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents. That's what it's called.
Yeah, so it was a scene in the movie where, and the thing is, like, I thought about the word, like, dedicated, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he dedicated himself to be at war, so whatever was going on in his life at home outside of being in war, it's like, you know, like, it was an instance where he had a baby, but he didn't look at the picture because, you know, it's like at war, a lot of times, the situations you be in or whatever, like my uncle, he was in the Vietnam War, right? He was telling me, like, you know, you think you're in hell, but just imagine having like an AK-47 in the jungle, you know,
right.
Bullets going off over your head, you're not knowing when somebody's going to jump out and just shoot y'all or whatever. You're seeing your friends get killed and all this shit, get buddy with people because you never know when they're going to die and stuff. It's like, that's war. And that's the mentality that we got to have. Like this brother was telling, you know, we was saying, like, you know, in this truth, we're more than just, it's not like, you know, we're in like a motorcycle club or something like that, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, you know, it's like we're like soldiers in a war. And our goal is to, you know, like I just thought about that example. Remember that movie, Boys and, what is it, Don't Be a Menace, when he was saying like, you know, we saw about your mind is like a gun and the bullets and the, but he was saying the books. And the book is like our weapon or whatever. You see, like people call it a what is it? What's that word? Like a metaphor, like a sword. People call it a sword. So this is our weapon that we use to battle or debate or whatever. Or so anyway, make a long story short, once you come and dedicate yourself to teaching or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you can't look back, you can't go back on your word or whatever. It's just like in the military, the Most High looks at it like when you join the military and you're in combat or whatever, if you just leave your post or whatever, you know what I'm saying, they'll really look bad on you.
Yeah, in fact, they call that desertion. All right.
Yeah, like somebody is what do you call it?
That's really what it's called at the end of the day. Once you leave your post or once you done ran off from the war, you don't want AWOL. Okay, you're AWOL or you're a deserter. Okay, that's on the level of being. That's basically on the level of being a traitor. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, God.
So being in this truth, man, like the scriptures say, prepare your heart for temptation. Because there's gonna be, like the brother just said, when you're at war, man, especially as like he was giving the example of a family of yours that was in the Vietnam War. You have no idea what may happen to you. There all type of ambush positions could be getting set up. Somebody could jump out and try to, you know what I'm saying, stab you.
Or I mean, blow you up.
Or blow you up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You literally have things that they call IEDs. Okay?
Hold up, you said
IEDs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Improvised explosive detonator. You know what I'm saying? That's what IED stands for, by the way. IED stands for I just said it too. That's the best part. IED stands for man. I just literally said it. But
look it up.
yeah, kind. Improvised explosive device. Okay, that's what an IED is. All right. So the bottom line is serve the Lord. All right. Everything else beyond that is a distraction. Go ahead, bro. Oh, so Salah, when you finish that, get Job 8:8.
So Matthew 25 and 21. It says, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
Is that the place you should
Break that one down.
Oh yeah. No, I mean this is going about what we were saying about being a faithful servant.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and bring it back.
So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, if you do what the if you finish the course and do what the Lord tells you to do, this is basically I mean this is a what do you call it, the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, this is basically what Yahawashi would say to us, you know what I'm saying? He said, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. So, you know what I'm saying? Our duty right now is to basically teach the word. It's to, the scriptures say, the labor is plenteous. The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So, you know what I'm saying, this is our duty or our lot right now. But once the duty or the lot is done, you know what I'm saying, that's when the kingdom of heaven is going to be set up. And that's when, we're going to be on a higher level, like we always say, than we are right now.
Right. Hey, but that's a cold cut to that basehead Sakari, all right? He went and accepted a so-called Hebrew Israelite award from somebody that's not even a Hebrew Israelite, by belief, okay? By a non-believer. What is wrong with it? You mean to tell me you accepted a reward but the work ain't done? How much? And then what's worse, it's not Yahawashi giving you the reward. It's a man, saw a netter, or saw a nigga. Yo, you should have watched the videos, bro. I was flamed in the spirit when I saw that. This man went to a Hebrew Israelite award show, Sakari, and was rewarded the so-called You gotta read that one again. You gotta read that scripture.
His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
As a matter of fact, if you can, start at the very top of that parable, and let's get that parable. The parable of the talents. Yeah.
This is Matthew 25 and 14.
Come.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his servants and delivered unto them his goods.
So a man traveling into a far country and called up his servants and said, all right, listen, this is what I want you to do with my goods. Continue that.
It says, and unto one he gave 5 talents,
What?
to another 2,
Right.
and to another 1,
Right.
to every man according to his several
servile
ability, servile ability.
Con.
And straightway took his journey.
That's it. All right. And in a sense, that's Yahawashi right there, if you really think about that. All right. That's Yahawashi if you're really thinking about that. And we're the servants. He gave us talents according to our servile ability. And this is what we're supposed to do with those talents. Continue that.
It said, then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents.
We're supposed to trade those talents. It's an investment that the man made, okay? Continue that. Huh? Multiply. Yeah, exactly. We're supposed to multiply those talents, all right? Bring, yeah,
It said, and likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2.
Right.
But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
And hid his Lord. He basically just sat on the Lord's money then. He didn't go out and do no work. And if he did do work, he was basically full of leaven. All right. When he went out to do the work, he wasn't basically the scriptures talk about gathering the flock and scattering the flock. Woe be unto them that scatter, but blessed are they that gather. The guy that hid his master's talent, he was scattering the flock, okay? He didn't do the work. Go ahead and continue that, bro.
It said, after a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and rebuketh with them. I'm sorry. Let me read it again.
Yeah, please.
It says, verse 19, after a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more.
When Yahawashi comes back to render his judgment, he's going to be inquiring of his men. Okay, what are your fruits? Lord, these are my fruits. This is the talent that you've given me, and these are the fruits that I give unto thee. Go ahead, Akia.
It said, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
That's how it works. You do the work, and when you have done the work, and the boss has inquired of you of your work and inspected your work and approves of your work, that is when you're awarded, all right? That is when you can receive of that award. That incorruptible reward, okay? Continue that.
It said he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents.
Right.
Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them.
God.
It said, his Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
That's it.
Enter unto the joy of thy Lord.
Enter unto the joy of thy Lord. That's the reward, the joy of thy Lord. Rulership, women, children, households, slaves. Because the Lord is going to give us slaves, okay? The Lord is going to deliver unto us slaves. Those same bankers that's ruling over this earth today, right now, they're going to be slaves. All right? A lot of you proud Edomites and all you other different nations walking around with your heads held high, you're going to be slaves. All right? Continue that, man.
Oh, you can't put a
Okay? The Lord is going to basically, the Lord is going to reward them that did his work. It's that simple. All right? We ain't trying to receive no corruptible reward. We're not trying to receive no reward that's going to perish. We're not looking for no consolation. Okay? We that's up here pushing the truth, we're not looking to be consoled. We're striving for the real prize, okay? The scriptures say, woe be unto them that are rich, for they have received their consolation. We're not looking to be consoled up here, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 24. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I know thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there has that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawn. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But for him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath.
Even that which he hath shall be taken away from him. What does that mean?
Says,
the Lord, Salakia. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, you can make your point.
No, I was going to say, because what does that mean? You had guys that came into the truth, they were versed in the word. The Lord showed them different things. And what did they end up doing? I was in fear, so I hid thy talent. They went back into the world. That's what happened, okay? So all that book wise that they had, all that understanding of scriptures that they had, oh, I know more scriptures than this guy. All that got took from them. The name of the Lord got took from them. Why? Because they hid their talent in the earth. Whether they became disenchanted or whether they became offended at something in these scriptures, man, they basically hid their talent. They went back into the world. Yeah, bro.
So, all right, it says this is verse 29, Matthew 25 and 29.
Right.
For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have an abundance. For him that have not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into utter darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
And cast ye the unprofitable servant into utter darkness. All right? Meaning what? You're going to go right back. You're basically going to remain in the congregation of the dead. Any man that strays from this truth, actually, let me see if I can find that scripture. Any that stray from that understanding of this word. I mean, if I can find that real This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Can you read that scripture again in Matthew real quick concerning that unprofitable servant? What's going to happen to him again?
So Matthew 25 and 30.
Done.
It said, and cast ye the unprofitable servant unto utter darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
And see that? Cast ye that unprofitable servant into utter darkness. Meaning what? Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Okay? That's what it means. He wandereth out of the way of understanding. Why? Because he hid his master's talents. He did not do the work. He was disenchanted. All right? He became caught up in the cares of this world. So on and so forth as it goes. Okay?
I don't know what I said. He's like, thank you guys. Alright. This is Matthew 25 and 31. We'll just keep reading down. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And the Son of Man is talking about the one who the world even calls Jesus Christ. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, talking about the chariots, All right, because Yahawashi is going to come with chariots. And it says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. So that means the Lord, who the world calls Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, when he comes back, not when when the scripture says he will not meet thee as a man, when he comes back, he's not coming in this lowly state like he was before. He's coming with power and glory. And it says and he's gonna separate the nations one from another. So that's segregation right there.
Yep.
That destroys that whole philosophy of, so-called Jesus Christ is gonna bring everybody together. Because all this unity that these people are talking about, it's in vain. It's not gonna happen. Most High isn't with that. That's why, when we read Deuteronomy, the Most High divided the nations. He separated the nations according to the nation of Israel. It says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. All right, and the lost sheep is talking about the nation of Israel. Israel is that metaphorical lost sheep. It says, so Israel represents, the process of elimination or whatever. Israel represents the sheep. The other nations, the non-Israelite nations, represent the goats. Yeah. It says, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. So that's talking about the nation of Israel. Because the nation of Israel, as we always say, we gotta redundantly say this, you know what I'm saying? Like people say, we just say the same thing over and over, but that's the like if somebody were to stop and say, what's the summary of what you're teaching? That's a key point. And what we teach is that the nation of Israel is the Most High's chosen people, and they're the only people that can receive salvation.
That's right.
You said something blue? Yeah, it's just like what we just left from.
17.
Oh, but
So Luke chapter 17, verse 10. No, man, I'll start at 17 and 1.
all right.
It says, then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come. And you look the word offenses up, right? It's the word Greek. It's the G4625. It says, it's any person or thing by which one is drawn into error.
Yep.
A trap, a snare, a stumbling block. That's what an offense is. So I'm going to read it again. It's Luke chapter 17, verse 1. It says, then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come, but woe unto him to whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he be cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones.
You gotta read that one from the top. That was actually fire. You gotta read that one from the top, please.
It said, then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come.
Yep.
But woe unto him through whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hang about his neck, and he be cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones.
There you go. Okay? And that's a characteristic of the unprofitable servant. All right? He's unprofitable because he casted a stumbling block, all right, by not doing the work. By being entrusted with the master's talent and not using that talent to bring about more talent, okay? Read that one more time, please.
This is Luke 17 and 1. Then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come, but woe unto him through whom they come. It said it were better for him that a millstone were hang about his neck, and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. It said, take heed to yourselves, if thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him, and if he repent, forgive him. And if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again unto thee, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him.
There you go. So that's the simplest understanding of all this, man. All right. As a matter of fact, what's what you got helping?
I was gonna just keep
Just continue in that case. Yeah.
It's verse 5. And the apostle said unto him, Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord said, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye might say unto the sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it shall obey you.
It shall obey you. Why? Because you got faith. What is faith? Faith is the evidence of things not seen. All right? Evidence of things hoped for. That's what faith is. Okay? That's pursuant to the book of Romans, if I'm not mistaken. All right? As a matter of fact, if I can, I would like to bring that scripture out in the book. Can you read that one more time? Because right there, that's really what we're supposed to be asking of the Lord, to increase our faith. All right?
Luke 17:5. And the apostle said unto the Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord said, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye might say unto the sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it shall obey you. But which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat, and will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird thyself and serve me till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward thou shalt eat and drink.
This basically is going into the kind of thought process that we're supposed to have when being in this truth. After we go through our tribulations, after we go through our bullshit, after we go through, you know what I mean? We gotta basically come unto the master to serve the master as well. This is the kind of thought process we're supposed to have. Continue reading that out.
It says,
Continue.
I was distracted for a second. But which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat, and will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird thyself and serve me till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward thou shalt eat and drink.
Right.
Doeth he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I trow not.
Right. Basically meaning that, hey man,
But you guys
just because that servant did what he was supposed to do, it doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, it doesn't make him any more than what he is. He's a servant, okay? He did what he was supposed to do. You don't give I'm not going to give credit to a fish that because he can swim, all right? That's what he was created to do. Go ahead and continue that.
It says, so Luke 17:10.
Right.
It says, so likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded of you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do.
We have done that which was our duty to do, all right? That it was basically, hey, after we done went out into the world, plowed, take care of our responsibilities in the world, we coming to make ourselves basically a living sacrifice unto the Lord. We're doing what we're supposed to do, all right? We're servants of the Most High. It is what it is, okay? But this is the book of Hebrews chapter 11, starting at verse 1, dealing with faith. This is the definition of faith. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. All right? That is faith. The evidence of things not seen, things hoped for. And what are we? Prisoners of hope. How much time we got?
Just keep going, like 30 more seconds.
All right. Verse 2. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Verse 3. And the elders and that good report is talking about this word. Okay? For by faith the elders obtained a good report, that good news.